And you think about that and you go, that's what real love is. Like real love is like when you just go, you know what? Take the protection away. And just here it is. If you're going to hurt me, I'm all in.
A couple of things you said in your introduction, which was great. Fear is a choice. Mm-hmm. And the other thing you said is that for people that are more at risk to take the precaution, I'm just sort of thinking how those two things reconcile. Does that mean that they're still being fearful as a choice?
I think being afraid in any situation is a choice. Yeah. I think fear is a choice regardless. You know, fear is a choice whether you drive a car and you've had an accident before and you choose to be blinded by that, to be able to not, or paralyzed by that, to be able to not drive a car again. Because here's what I do know. We're all going to die. And so for me, it's less about the fear and the relationship with death. And so for me, I think a lot of people right now are doing a lot of work on their death relationship. And as Jason DaSilva, I love this. Does anyone follow Jason DaSilva? What an orator. He talks about a practice. And he calls this practice death practice. So death practice, in the context that Jason told me, is in the context of relationships. He goes, man, I just love that passion and that connection, but that knowing that you're going to potentially have your heart torn out and broken is just such this conflict and contrary mix of emotions. And the thing that holds people back from really loving so deeply is opening themselves up to that pain, that destruction that only that true connection can potentially offer you. And you think about that and you go, that's what real love is. Like real love is like when you just go, you know what? Take the protection away and just here it is. If you're going to hurt me, I'm all in. Because you know through experience that the greatest pains you've ever had have been your greatest sensations of awareness and awakening, right? But what we know about, or what he talks about in relationships, he goes, man, relationships are like death practice. Because you just open yourself up to be so wounded. At the moment he said that, I was like, I like chasing death. Like literally. That's why I do so many of the things that I do. Not because I'm chasing death, because I'm wanting to find my limits. Does this make sense? I want to know how far can I go? How far can I take it? How far can I push it? How far can I perform? What is my real limit? Not as what is my self-imposed limit, what is my real limit? And that's one of the reasons I pushed myself so far. But the thing that I really held myself back from was relationships. Why? Because I was afraid of being hurt. And it wasn't until he dropped that one word, he said, relationships are death practice, that I went, oh, I can do that. Like legit, in my head, I was like, I can do that. I like death practice. My life has been fucking many death practices. It's a comedy, right? I was like, dude, I can do that. That's what we're talking about here, right? Corona, it's death practice. Your partner leaving you, that's death practice. Your child getting mortally wounded, that's death practice. Because it's these fundamental deaths that we're so afraid of that the more we expose ourselves to them, the less fear we have and the more objective we become at a conscious level that allows us to see the experience and not the emotions. And so for me, this is death practice.